Hi, Sparkles.
Hang on. It switched itself to the wrong thing. Here we go.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Sparkles.
There we go.
I love it. I love it. The music's like, no, I want a little bit more. I want to come in a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
Hmm.
seeing how that's all.
So I
Right?
think it's pretty cool that we just shot our 13th episode with Irina on January 13th. That's pretty nice.
That's
And 13
fun. That's
episodes.
fun. 13's my number too. It's been a real factor in my uh consciousness arising, so it's really fun. Really fun. I love it. Mm.
Take a beautiful deep breath while we're all here in this wonderful yumminess and go in the beautiful water slides spiraling down from our heads into our hearts. Ah, here we are.
Feeling all this wonderful energy, magical, sparkling energy.
Yeah.
So what's sparkling up today?
Well, the
Mm.
other day, a raven landed on my head. I thought it was a crow at first. In some of the other episodes, I talked about my grandson and when I walk him, and sometimes he sounds like the birds. And one guy mentioned about him sounding like the crows and that. So I'm always aware when I walk with him with all the nature around. And but this day, in the same spot as the other guy asked about, he sounds like the crows. All of a sudden, I was reaching up for whatever reason, and all of a sudden, I felt these wings through my hand, like the bottom, like with feet and wings, and I'm like, what? And all of a sudden, this raven went whoo and landed right in front of me. And it was Raven because I knew it was way bigger and it had all the colors in the back. But I was just like, that is so funny because the whole, bird story with Zathrian, I thought that was pretty cool.
Wow. And did you say it turned and looked at you?
Oh yes, it as soon as it stopped, it just turned around and looked, and it was just like it was just we had that moment, and it was just magical. I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh! And I looked around, and I'm like, did you guys see that? I thought it was crow landed on my head. So at first I thought it was a crow, and then someone later reminded me of like, do you remember the ravens we saw in Stonehenge? And I'm like, yes, it was raven because I was like, it's a big crow. But now, as I'm thinking of it, because we only have the now, I can see the raven turning its head and just like looking at me, like as in, yeah, like like we know this is happening. Like we know this is happening. We know this is like you know an ongoing thing, like a connection or whatever. So it's just like,
Mhm.
yeah, I was so excited. And then the person that I was like I was so excited. And there's people in the cars because sometimes people come and send these cars, and the one kind of like looking at me like wondering why I was being so excited. And then I kind of kept walking, and then some other guy in the end was like, "Wow, that was close." And I was like, "Did you see that?" And it was just like I wanted someone else to have seen that, but even though it was just magical. Have you ever had that happen before?
Yeah, birds are have been such incredible messengers in my life, and I love the encounters. Like
Yeah.
they just symbolize so much. And I had this was, I don't know, maybe last year, and I had been really sitting with the phrase God announces reality. And I'm like, wow. And one morning I was just really pondering that vibration, that frequency of knowing, right? Of creating, of choosing my reality. And I'm walking down the street in my neighborhood. I've lived here for over 17 years. And these two huge birds come flying right towards me in the center of the street. And I'm like, oh my gosh, those are ravens. I've never, in the whole time that I've lived in Arizona in this neighborhood, I have never seen a raven. And two of them flew right towards Beasley and I, and over our heads, and then swooped up into the tree. And I noticed that one of them had the material for building the nest. And I'm like, yeah, that makes so much sense. It's like they were just announcing, like they're announcing and creating their reality, right? And they're flying over my head. And it was just such a incredible moment. And I remember asking a lot of the neighbors, I'm like, did you see those ravens? They're magnificent. And they're like, what? So it's just, you know, these messengers are, it's just, it's so beautiful to be that connected to all of nature, all of creation, and the birds, especially for me, just really make my heart sing when they come in. I've had lots of magical encounters with them.
Jeannie, did they make a sound?
Oh yeah, they were cawing or whatever that sound the whole way. They were announcing as they were coming towards me. They were announcing their reality, and then they had the sticks in their mouth, you know, creating, building, choosing that they were going to make their nest. And yeah, so I saw them that morning, and I think maybe a day or two later, and then I don't know where they went. I never saw the
Wow.
babies or anything. So it was just a total magic. And just,
Did you feel like
yeah, when they were just coming down right towards me in the center of the street,
Wow.
whatever that
Yeah,
sound, that loud calling, that announcing, it was incredible. It was incredible.
it's kind of like a knowing, like even though like you're seeing this and your friends aren't seeing this, but you know that it's there for you. Like
Mhm.
mine didn't, and you know, mine was just like it was just that presence, you know, that energy of presence where it just whoop, and looked like it was. It's like you can just feel what they're feeling, you know, like their energy, like you're one, and it's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
It's that enchanted vibration, right? Like it
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
it's this moment, it's this present moment, and everything just has gone to a different frequency of like magic or connection or love, whatever it is. It's so
like the
fun.
God. It's like source. Like
Yeah.
we are source. We the I am, the God I am. You know, divine. It's just.
I want to come back to Giovanna, you talking about feeling feathers.
Mhm.
One time I was at my land and I had actually taken some mushrooms and I was going down on this trail that hadn't been opened for quite a while. And this white owl came over my shoulder and I could feel the wings, and it was like it was somehow, it wasn't beating its wings, it was just swooping, but it was like more silent than silence. Just
Mm.
this moving so beautifully. And then another time, well, actually just this last Christmas, I was in Berkeley at my friend's house, and I took a walk around the block just to stretch my legs. And our friend had talked about how the ravens, crows, they're very communal. They gather, they go out and forage, and then at the end of the day, they come back and they swap stories, and you know, they all stay together. And there was this tree of about 30 of them, and they were very loud. And I was thinking about all of their conversations, and as I turned, I just turned and looked at them, and they all hushed for like a really long time. And we just admired each other. My friend said, "Oh, this is private information. They didn't want you to hear their in the conversation." But no, it was just mutual admiration. You know, we were just like, feeling each other's love. I love what you're saying about the majesty and the magic of the birds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just like
And you
wisdom.
know, what it feels, what it feels like with that, when they stop the conversation, they're like, oh, we have a connected one. We have a listener. And they were
Yeah.
like, just like, wow, right?
Oh gosh,
Right,
yeah.
because they're not popular birds. People don't like the way they sound. They resent, they don't get a lot of love. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
So
always
they were just
wanted
stopping to be like, oh my gosh, someone's connected to us. Someone's, like admiring us. And oh, that's so fun.
yeah, they're very smart. They're very wise birds for sure.
Yeah.
So I always
And they
admire them for why, like, I just always just stare at them. But even going for walks, I'm always just being conscious, like the more conscious we are, and the more things that just show up like that, right?
And I think they live
Yeah.
to be 80 and they mate for life.
Wow.
Wow, they live a long time.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, it just goes back to all of creation's listening.
Yeah.
You're connected with all of creation. And all of creation is speaking to you constantly. Like, are you listening? And what are you saying back to creation?
What are your thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What are your thoughts? Because
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, right? I was just like putting the thoughts out there, like, and I mean, I was with
Yeah.
Zathri, so who knows what, what was
But he
happening.
was bringing what conversation he was already having. And haven't you noticed that the more that you feel connected to the birds, the more you love the birds, the more that you know that they are part of creation that's in a constant communication with you, conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you find that you're
That's-
having more and more magical encounters with them?
And that's true for everything. That's true like you say, Jeannie, true for the walls.
Yeah.
And everything is
Yeah.
just so vibrating with love. That's what happens. That's why people want to do psychedelics, because it takes away the veil and they can see all the love that they're swimming in all the time,
Oh, isn't that fun? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like the fish. They don't know they're swimming in water, right? They're just in
Yeah.
their environment. And that's funny that the hallucinogenics would take away that block, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm swimming in love. All there is love. Oh, I love that analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really, I mean, the birds are just flying so free, and they're just enjoying, like, I love, like, it was windy the other day, and all the pigeons and all the birds in the neighborhood were just on the currents, just flowing with them. And it was just so fun because it was effortless, right? They
You're
didn't
like
have any.
surfing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And that's really, like, we can just ride that current. Like, once we're aware that all there is love, and there's just that frequency, that's a ride. That's a ride that we can just be on with we don't have to flap our wings to get there or anything. We can just be like, woo!
Just tuning in. It's just tuning in.
Yeah.
Like, it's all here in front of us. You can tune in whenever you want. Like,
Are you guys familiar with the story of Jumping Mouse? It's a Native American folktale. Basically, Jumping Mouse jumps higher than the other mice, and he sees that there's something outside their little community, that there's a river. And he goes out to the river, and he has all these adventures but he has to give something of himself. He has to give his left eye to the frog to take him across the river, and then the buffalo will take him across the plain because he sees the mountain in the distance. And more than anything, he wants that mountain. And then the buffalo asks him for another part of his body, and he runs underneath the buffalo, and he gets protected from the eagles. And then the coyote, the wolf, is going to take him up to the top of the mountain, but he asks for his last eye, so he knows he's going to get eaten because he can't hide anymore from the eagles. And he does. And he suddenly hears a voice, and he's the eagle. He's seeing everything from the eagle's vantage point because he's become the eagle.
I love that.
Yeah. That's a sweet story.
Yeah, because if we're consciousness and we're all one, we can do that whenever we want, right?
Yeah, yeah. We don't have to get eaten.
Yeah, yeah. It's the Pearl of Great Price. I don't know what book that is in. It's a famous story.
Yeah, it's called The Pearl. Pearl Espat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And it's basically you give up everything to buy the Pearl of Great Price. But then you gain everything in the having of it, right? It's the
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You think you're giving it all up, but you're actually you're giving all the veils up and taking in the beautiful pearl of wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
cool.
think that's a wrap, gang.
Beautiful birds. I love them. I love it all.
Yeah. Thank you. Beautiful bird
Thank you for
wisdom.
bringing in the birds.
You shine so bright, you sparkle, you are the light. You shine so bright, you sparkle, 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 sparkle.
Bye,
Hi.
everybody.
My little, oh, there they go. There's my heart.
Ah, yay.
Yay.
Mwah.
A sparkle of hearts for all of you.